This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Delighted to be joined by, all the way in Pittsburgh, USA, Mr. Steve Cunningham. Steve,
What's up?
It's been a while. How are you?
Doing great, man. Very well.
I can see you're in the gym. You've done a little Sunday session there for the amateurs today.
Yeah, we have on Sundays. Let me get back on. On Sundays, we have open sparring every Sunday. Now that the COVID thing has been over, we've got a few more people coming than usual. But every Sunday, it's open sparring here, man. So we just had about 15 guys going at it, back to back since 1 o'clock. Everybody just left.
Okay. How has the COVID-19 coronavirus situation been over there in Pittsburgh? How's that been?
It's been very light. You know what I mean? It's been not that many cases. We've been watching it very closely, and it wasn't nothing to shut your business down over, in our opinions. But you got to follow the guidelines, and they got people scared and worried. There were some people who died, but here it wasn't crazy.
Yeah, obviously, I think over here in the UK, it's got one of the worst death rates in the world. I think it's crept over 40,000 here. So, yeah, it's not a good situation, but we just hope everyone can kind of come out of it as safe as possible.
Yeah, we everybody, staying away from each other for a while. People got sick of it too, and it's been way too long. Then the CDC brought out those other numbers. They fixed their percentage up of the death rate here, and everybody's like, hold up, like, all right, man, we're going outside, we're opening up. Legislators started suing governors and open states. So we've been, it's been a little different for us here,
Steve, so you were last in action, in 2017, in your fight with Andrew Tabiti. It's been a while. It's been 3 years odd. So what's the situation now?
I've been so first, after that fight, I opened this gym. We opened this gym, and I took some time off to open this gym, get it started, get it going. We've got it rolling. We got the gym rolling. Like I said before, earlier when we talked, my sons, I have an amateur team, USS Fight Academy. And we are, I have 3 nationally ranked top-rated amateur fighters. I have a 9-year-old. My 9-year-old son is #1 in the nation, 2-time national champ. I have another 10-year-old who's another kid that I train. He's 2-time national champion, #1 in the nation. My 17-year-old is #4 in the nation at 140 pounds. So we've got a lot of other amateurs that are building up to that. But those are our top 3 right now, and I want a whole gym full, So from that though, I took the time to open the gym. That was we got that rolling. So I took about a year off, and then in 2018 we had a fight set up that fell through. We had a couple fights fall through, and we're here, But I'm not retiring until I get a few more fights, one or 2 more, go on this next run. And then I'm done. I mean, I feel great. I'm always sparring. I've been to numerous camps. I'm sparring people here at the gym. We bring in guys. Guys come in. I've been sparring Jerry Forrest a lot. He's been coming down here training, and man, I'm ready. I'm different. I'm new. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. Still got you back.
That was my wife calling. Hey, call Aunt Livy. Tell her I'm on an interview, and I'm ready, man. I just want to get a couple more because I'm still not finished. You know what I'm saying? I'm not done within me. The last fight with the Tabiti fight, it was a few things, a few variables. Of course, that's Floyd's guy. He's going to get the rounds, anything close. But I didn't think that they were going to give him the fight off of him fighting that way. I thought I was landing more shots, trying to press the fight. I've heard that numerous times, and and most of all the close fights that I had that I supposedly lost, those few. And so I'm pressing the fight. I know I'm landing more shots, but he got the decision. And I'm like, hey man, you're not gonna beat Floyd's guy in Vegas on his show. But I do see where I could have turned that up. You know, I could have turned up and did this and that. But it is what it is. That's in hindsight. I'm ready to put the finishing touches on the career and be like, we're done.
Steve, I'm assuming those finishing touches are at cruiserweight and not anything else.
Nah, man. Listen. I love to fight at heavyweight. I love to finish my career out at heavyweight because heavyweight it's easier for me. I'd say it like that. I'll just keep it plain and simple. Heavyweight's easier. For me to fight at heavyweight is much easier. I can get up to, right now I'm 200 pounds. Once I start training and, and I'm using my creatine and all this and that, 208 solid is nothing. That's easy money. 207. I mean, I fought at 203. I fought heavyweights at 203, 204 and handled the business. But, I mean, heavyweights are just big, especially when you're fighting bigger guys, 250 or 220, 225, this and that. Like Fury. I was able to do what I did with Fury, because Fury he was bigger. He was, to my trained eye, I could see his punches coming. I could react faster to him. He's not slow. He's not a slow guy at all. But I'm used to a higher speed, at cruiserweight, sparring light heavyweights, those smaller guys. So when I get in there with the heavyweights, it's easy. Only thing you have to worry about with heavyweights, of course, is the power. Now, once you wear them down a bit, by the 5th, 6th rounds, power's nothing, and then you can turn up. And I mean, you've seen what I did with Amir Mansour in our fight. That's a perfect example of it. Amir Mansour is a powerhouse, the hardest I've ever been hit in my life.
You got the poster back. You got the poster behind you there.
Yeah, that's it. And me and Amir are like, bros. Make sure you guys check out that comic book, USS Comics. USS versus Hardcore. That's the first one coming up. But we'll get into that. But fighting Amir, and Amir wasn't a big heavyweight either. But because he was bent on power and he was, probably 15 pounds heavier than me or what, so I could see his punches coming. Get under him. Get under those big shots he's throwing. Boop, 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 touch, and just swell his eyes up and, almost get a stoppage, But I'd love to fight at heavyweight, finish my career out because, and that's the weight class. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody really respects cruiserweight, man. Nobody,
Do you know what? I'll echo your thoughts there because cruiserweights is one of the most kind of dangerous divisions there are.
Very dangerous.
Fighters, but it doesn't get the credit. It doesn't. It
doesn't. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's the name cruiserweight. I don't know. But listen, when I was a top cruiserweight before I became champion and after, I mean, look at who was in there. I mean, I don't know if you remember these guys named Dale Brown.
Yeah,
remember Dale Brown? Dude, oh man, Carl Thompson.
Yeah.
Carl Thompson kind of left before I kind of hit the top 10 scene. Or right after I did. He was on his way out. I mean, look at David Hay, Enzo Macronelli, Wayne Braithwaite, Jean-Marc Mormon. Tiozo Fabricio, gee whiz, man, Arslan, Marco Huck, Christoph Ladarchik. Oh man, the list goes on and on and on. And Guillermo Jones, oh my goodness, Dale Brown. It's just crazy, O'Neal Bell. And those were the cruiserweights, Luis Azul. Oh man, it's just a crazy name. So people did not get to see those awesome cruiserweights because in America, cruiserweights got no television. We didn't get any television. That's why I signed with Sauerland Events. That's why I campaigned in Germany because there was no money for a cruiserweight in America. They were telling me to fight for the vacant IBF title because I was number 1, and that's when Adam relinquished the title and moved up to heavyweight. No. I'm sorry. O'Neal Bell relinquished the. Was it O'Neal Bell? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking of the first time. My second world title. They were saying $25,000 to fight for the IBF world title on ESPN, and I was like, what in the hell? 25? But I was like, hey, I'll do it because it's a world title, you know. And then once I get the world title, of course we can get more money from them. But I was like, man, are you serious? 25? So then that's when me and my wife was like, listen, we've fought Marco Huck. We beat Marco Huck in Germany. We beat Krzysztof Ledarczyk in Poland. Let's put our fillers out to those promoters and see what they say. And hey, Marco Huck's promoter, Sarlin Events, was like, man, listen, $100,000 for the first fight. That was it. That was enough, you know, 4 times as much money in Europe for the cruiserweight. So that's why I campaigned. And I really, in my career, I always said before my career's over, I want to campaign overseas, somewhere, UK, Germany, you know what I mean, Eastern Europe, somewhere like that, because there's a sick boxing fan base over there.
I mean, Steve, you talk about kind of all those names from the cruiserweight division, the ones that kind of did go into the heavyweight division, but you talk about Alexander Usyk and Murat Gassiev as well, who are now heavyweights. I mean, wow, Gassiev hasn't had a fight at heavyweight yet, but when he returns, he'll fight heavyweight. Usyk now has had one fight as a heavyweight. He's going to fight Derek Chisora. So that division is kind of a breeding ground for, you know, for heavyweights. And I mean, even Tony Bellew, you talk about Tony Bellew, he won a world title at cruiserweight, but his most high-profile fight was when he went to fight David A at heavyweight.
Exactly, yeah. That, I mean, Usyk and Gassiev, those guys are great. You know what I mean? They're special. They are standouts, you know, especially Usyk. You know, he beat Gassiev. Gassiev's very strong. Usyk is very intelligent, weird, awkward style, I'd say. And effective, you know, powerful in that boxing stance. But I don't know, man. I tell you the truth, I don't see either one of them becoming heavyweight champion. You know, I mean, I'm not saying they can't. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't see it because you have Fury, AJ. I don't see Usyk beating Anthony Joshua. You know, I don't even see him beating Wilder or Fury. You know, I see him putting on a good show. I'm not saying he'll get blown out, but and Gassiev is limited. He's more limited. You know, Usyk is great. You know what I'm saying? Usyk is out there. His boxing ability is great and his power is awesome. Gassiev doesn't have that boxing ability, you know, that he would need at that smaller size, fighting a Joshua, fighting a Wilder, fighting a Fury. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see Gassiev beating any of them for a heavyweight world title. Now, if one of them titles comes loose and it's vacant, and you know, and you fight, I see Usyk possibly beating a Dillian White or Gassiev. You know, because I know those guys walk around at 220. You know, I know Gassiev possibly walked around at 230 almost. You know, so them guys are strong. I see them beating a normal heavyweight. And I'm not saying Dillian White's normal or average. I'm just saying like their size. You know what I mean? I see them. They could possibly beat a guy like that, or even what's the guy from New Zealand or
Joseph Parker.
Joseph Parker. That's a good matchup for Usyk Gassiev right there. That's a 50-50 throw up in my book. Fury, Wilder, AJ. Nah, man, those are just money fights for him. Cash out, get the money. Make a good showing, probably land some good shots, possibly knock one of them down, but they both get beat.
How do you think Usyk gets on against Derek Chisora?
Oh, no, Usyk beats him. Usyk beats Derek. Derek is a good fighter. He's crafty. He's durable. He's I don't want to use the word. Yeah, he's crafty. I'll use crafty over skillful. You know, not disrespecting him or anything. I mean, but I mean, if he feels disrespected, hey, we can fight. But nah, but just I'd say crafty. Crafty he's durable, endurance. He's been around the block. He's got that, and he's got that grit. He's got that street, that hardcore grit in him. I enjoy watching Derek fight. You don't know what you're going to get. I don't see him beating Usyk. I don't see him beating CASSIUS. I don't see it.
Steve, I want to kind of take you back now to, it seems like such a long time ago now, 2013, which was actually Tyson Fury's American debut, which people still, remember. I know that a lot was made of him with his top rank deal, etc. But his original debut was obviously against you at the Garden in 2013. But over that kind of 7-year period from then to now, I'm sure you would have kind of followed with a close eye what has happened, kind of the rise and fall in that time of Tyson Fury. But what have you kind of made of that period from the time you fought him up until when he fought Deontay Wilder in that second fight?
Like, as in his progression and stuff. I mean, listen, when he fought me, that leveled him up. I didn't know that this was going to be the situation. None of us knew Tyson Fury was going to be Tyson Fury, who he is today. When I saw that Tyson Fury, or when we first started talks about the fight and, the chit chatter, the trash talk, man, it's just a big old goofy dude. This dude's just, another one of these 6'8", 9" dudes who comes out of woodwork every 6 years in boxing. You know how it is. You had Watch from Poland. You had Dimitrenko from Germany. They're decent, but they get trashed. And that was my mindset originally of Fury. And with him talking so much trash, I'm like, listen to this guy. So, our plan was to do what we did. Go in there, outbox him. Brother Nazim said, listen, you're going to sit him on his pockets. You're going to knock him down with this overhand right. I said that from day one in training camp. So every day in training camp, we did these drills during training camp. It's just overhand rights. Boom, boom. We did that every day. So when it happened in the fight, it was just instinct. It wasn't even, I didn't even think to do it. It just happened. Boom. I was like, whoa, like shit. Yo, so
did you know that overhand right that you knocked him down with, did you know before that fight that you was going to use that shot and that would take Fury down?
Yeah, because Brother Nazim Richardson, he told me it would happen. And that's the faith that I have in him. That's the faith that every fighter should have in their trainer. If your trainer tells you do this, it's going to do that. And really, in all actuality, I've seen his body of work. I've seen him do that type of thing before. Hey, this is what you do with me in other fights. This is what we do. This is going to happen. Oh shit, Brother Nazim. Oh, he's right. So first thing he said, you want to knock him on his pockets with this overhand right. Let's go. All right, let's go. So I went in that fight knowing we got this overhand right waiting for you, buddy. Is waiting for you. And but seeing, after me knocking Fury down with that, hurting him a little bit during the other fight, he switched gears. We all saw what he did. I don't want to, it's over. It happened 7 years ago. But he did what he did. He got the win. But in the positive for Fury, to answer the question, is he adapted and evolved right there on scene. Under heat, under pressure, being as though, even though it was a little illegal stuff to do, but the ref didn't call him on it. Nobody called him on it. Why would I stop any damn thing that's working? You know what I'm saying? It's working. This dude's getting tired. What the fuck? I was getting tired. So for me, I always get, in 12-round fights, I get second and third wins. I go back. My recovery time is awesome. So I can go back to the corner, tired. Give me that 30 seconds. I'm good. So I literally, when he hit me with that uppercut, boom, that didn't hurt. That was just a push. And I was like, okay, all right. I said, all right, let me just get out this round and I'll recover. And then I didn't see the punch. Boom, and that was it. Game was over. So I didn't get out the round. But we saw the evolution of Tyson Fury because of what I did to him. Really, if I didn't do what I did to Fury, I don't think he'd be as good as he is right now, you know, because right.
Yeah, Steve, let me just ask you a question here. Do you think subconsciously, even though there was a good 6-year difference in between the fights, but what happened in your fight prepared him for what happened in the first Wilder fight, where he was heavily dropped by Wilder in that last round?
Completely. I don't know which punch was more devastating. He'd have to tell you that. You know, if mine was more powerful than Wilder, you know, that overhand right. But I would say, to my credit, not blowing my own horn or anything, but after my knockdown, I heard him a couple more times in the rounds, you know, in those upcoming rounds before he KO'd me. And I remember one time I set him up with a nice short right hand. He threw his punch, boom, and I threw my right hand, and he was like, and he fell on me. I tried to out the way so he can fall on the ground, and he fell on me, and I was like, fuck. Like, damn, I almost had him again. But he weathered those storms, you know. Him weathering that storm, and to us fighters, it's like muscle memory. You know what I mean? Hold up. It's like muscle memory. His body knew what to do because he'd been through that already with Cunningham. So with Wilder knocking him down, you've seen it. He's just like, bing, and he's up, you know. And then the second one, the second one was crazy. The second Wilder knockdown was crazy.
Did you expect to get out from that, Steve?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Because of Wilder's power. You know what I'm saying? Because of Wilder's body of work, that, you know, that all of them knockouts. So I was like, oh, I wasn't surprised that Fury got up. Let's say that. But I didn't expect him to get up. Now, when he got up, I was like, hey, that's that dude. Because I know I went to camp. A lot of people don't know I went in the training camp with Fury after our fight. Probably about 3 months after. He was scheduled to fight David Haye.
Yes, correct.
So this will help answer your question even more. So my wife basically worked out a great deal with Peter Fury in order to get me in the camp. They called us and was like, hey, we want Cunningham in the camp fighting Fury. And fighting David Haye. And I was still pissed at, you know, the outcome of the fight a couple months later, because we just had I protested the decision of the fight. The New York State Athletic Commission, literally that week, Fury and them called us to go into camp. The New York State Athletic Commission, 3 days before, called us and was like, oh, we didn't see nothing illegal, that's it. So I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean you didn't see nothing illegal? So I was pissed at that. Then 3 days later, we get a call from Fury's camp, and they're like, yeah, we want Cunningham in the camp for the David Haye fight. I was like, hell no, fuck out of here. I ain't going to the camp with him. Kiss my butt. You know, fuck Fury. You know, I was pissed. And then Brother Nazim was like, whoa. See how much they're willing to pay. So I was like, all right. You know, so I let, you know, my wife's my manager, and she talked with Fury. Man, listen, they paid me $5,000 a week just to come out in the camp. They made it so they got me out there. And it was beyond intelligent on the part of Peter Fury, because he said, listen, I want you to throw that overhand right at us every time, all day, you know, because I want to get under that. I want to be able to know how to defend that. I want to know how to not allow that to happen. And I was in camp. I was throwing it. You know, it wasn't as intense, but, you know, I was throwing it, giving them that look. And, you know, we were working. And I don't think David Haye would have beat Fury, you know, because Fury was doing different things and I told him in sparring, I remember, I said, listen, if you would have fought me like this, it would have been much more harder for me to get that overhand right off on him, you know. But in what he was doing, he was boxing more. He was boxing much cleaner, like he is now. And that's what I'm saying. The evolution of Tyson Fury happened with me. It started with me because, and with Peter. Peter was smart. Bring Cunningham into camp. Let's get used to that speed, that ring intelligence. People must remember, I was a 2-time world champion then. You know, add another weight class. I was voted the best boxer in my division for a couple years in a row. You know, top of my weight class. So the knowledge that Peter Fury got and saw, and the things that he learned through our sparring, and gave to Tyson, and Tyson used and utilized himself and learned himself, that helped him grow, you know? That helped him grow, and he's a great boxer.
Steve, let me ask you, just off the back of that, what you're telling me there about you going into camp. You know, the first day you went into camp and the first moment you saw Fury, bearing in mind, you know, you'd been pissed off before because of the situation.
Yes.
But what was the first thing you and Fury said to each other when you kind of come into camp, right, for the first time?
It was uncomfortable. I know I was very uncomfortable. I was going in. I didn't know. I'm like, whoa, these motherfuckers paying $5,000 a week. What's wrong with these motherfuckers? I'm thinking like, are they going to do something to me? I'm thinking like, and my trainer, brother Nazim, that's him. He's a skeptic. He's basically like, man, listen, if anything get fishy, man, get the fuck out of there. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, well, I'm like, I gotta go. You know, I gotta go. If this is real, it's real. You know, I don't think they're crazy to do something crazy, but I'm like, but Fury is a little crazy. So that was my initial thoughts. But when I first got there, I met Peter first. And Peter talked, and he just basically like, listen, they were concerned that I was coming to do something crazy, you know, because it was an uncomfortable situation, you know, our fight and after. So Peter was basically like, listen, I just want to make sure and let you know that we're not doing anything. We're not up to no tricks. You know, this is business. I want you. And he told me exactly why he wanted me there. I want you to throw that overhand right in Fury. I want this. I want that. There's no fishy business, no here, and we don't expect nothing from you. And I was like, cool, you know. So then me and Fury talked that first day. It was just, hey, what's up? You know, how's everything going? He asked about my kids. I asked about his. And as camp went by, you know, we just got a little bit closer to know each other better, speaking. You know, he lived in a different house. We stayed in another house. But, you know, we hung out. We went to Amsterdam together. Everybody, the whole team, we hung out, talked, but we did speak about the fight. And Fury told me then, he said, he apologized. He said, look, I'm sorry, man. But he's like, I did what I had to do. You know, you were kicking my ass. You know, he was like, I did what I had to do, you know. And I was like, listen, that's cool. I understand. And I told him then, I said, listen, if the referee didn't stop that shit, fuck you gonna stop for, you know. So we were on, you know, it was understanding. That was it. You know, that was over. And that at that time, it was like, all right, cool. I buried I hate Fury hatchet. I want to kill Fury hatchet. I want to stab him in his sleep hatchet. No. You know, and that was it. But and then the David Haye fight, you know, I was pulling for him to beat David Haye, because now I've been in camp with this dude for 4 weeks, you know, got to know him a bit. I got to know Fury is a tad bit crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's a goofy guy. He's like everybody else, you know. But he puts that extra foot forward when the cameras come around. He's that guy. Oh, hey. And listen, he sold himself. He sells himself, and that's what he did. That's what he does. So, and he'll sell himself at your expense. Let me put it like that. You know, so that's why, you know, at our press conference, it was extra heated for me, because I'm like, fuck is wrong with this guy, man? He's talking all this trash. I'm like, dude, you're already 6'9". You're already supposed to beat me. You know, on paper, you're up. What are you talking all this? But he, you know, he was selling himself. You know, he was marketing himself. And that's what the people remember him for. You know, he talks.
Steve, just the final one before I let you go, and I appreciate your time, because it's very insightful to kind of hear around that time, because, like I said, a lot of people forget that that's when Fury made his kind of US debut back in 13 against yourself, and it was such an eventful fight, loads of talking points, so it's good to get your take on it even after now. But obviously the fight that we want to see here in the UK is undoubtedly between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. So, yeah, what are you thinking about this fight? Who are you siding with this fight, should we say?
I'm gonna tell you honestly and directly, I'm going with Fury. I can't go against Fury anymore. You know, I won't, because he evolves, he adapts. What I saw in that second Wilder fight was awesome. You know, it was like, wow, this dude really stepped up. You know, Wilder hit him with, if you rewatch that, I was telling these guys the other day, we're gonna rewatch that fight this week. I'm gonna show my sons and some of my amateurs. Wilder landed that right hand clean a couple times, I think in the first 2 rounds. Wow. Bop, and Fury ate it. Whoa, and he stepped it up. He stepped his game, and that left hook, his left hook set everything up. Boom, 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 boom. He worked off that left hook. He saw something in the first fight, and that, you know, that he can get that left hook in, and that's what it was. So I can't, even though I love Wilder, you know, I'm a Wilder supporter. He's American. You know, in that third fight, I'm not going to go against Wilder, but I'm not going to go against Fury. You know, I'm going to give them both their props. I understand Wilder's anger, aggression, and it may have been there. I'll accept some of his excuses. You know, okay, that suit might have been the reason. I'll give you a chance, but I'm not saying I can't go completely against Fury again anymore. You know, so I think Fury beats. I do think Fury beats AJ. He's on his momentum is bananas right now. You know, he's like a locomotive right now, and he just beat the guy who was murdering everybody. You know, he stopped him. His momentum is through the freaking stratosphere right now, and this dude is like walking on water right now. So that with that momentum behind you, his next training camp's going to be awesome. His confidence is going shit. His confidence always was crazy. Imagine what it is now. Imagine the press tour for their third fight. It's going to be the nuttiest show you ever seen, man. So I'm not going against Fury. For AJ versus Fury, I'm picking Fury.
But like you said, before we even get to that, Wilder's got to come up against Fury again, and obviously Joshua will have to fight Kubrat Pulev. So, but we're hoping, as UK fans, and I suppose boxing wants to see it as well. In general, we want to see that fight between AJ and Fury, but there has to be a little bit to happen before that can happen. So
yeah, AJ should handle Pulev. You know, he's gonna handle Pulev, I believe. Even though Pulev's a good dude, but Pulev's out his I believe he's possibly out of his era, you know. That's just like me saying, oh, I want to go fight Usyk right now. Me and Usyk. Come on, man. Listen, I know I'm not stupid. I do want to put on a couple good fights before we go, but I'm not going for, I don't, you know, unless it goes great, I'm not going to go for a world title or go directly for Usyk, you know, or Gassiev or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's be smart, you know. Now, if somebody wants to pay me this crazy money, and I'm not saying I think they'll beat me. Let's get that straight too. But I'm just saying I understand I'm out of my era. You know, my time, according to many, has passed, so they would say, on that level, on that elite level. I'll agree with them probably, you know, especially now. I've been out the ring for 3 years, 2.5. So that's the same thing with you know, with them, man. Same thing.
Okay, Steve, I'm going to let you get on with your day. Much appreciate your time. It's been a very insightful interview, this has for me anyway. So, yeah, keep yourself safe, and hopefully we'll get to catch up soon. So if you
no doubt.
Fight news, Steve, let us know, and we'll interview you again. Love to.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve Cunningham.
All right, man. Go on.
Top man.